Hi, and welcome to the March edition of Rowlett on the Water on the Move. I'm Todd Guttell.
And I'm Brian Funderburk.
This show is produced entirely by city staff and can be seen on Rowlett's own television network, RTN 16. You can also find us on our YouTube channel by going to Rowlett Texas Video, and we're in full HD there, Brian.
That's
and of
right.
course, your favorite website and our streaming
Rowlett.com.
video page, which is
Rowlett.com.
Rowlett.com. That's right. There you can find all of our past shows as well as council meetings and other events of significance. So we've got a very busy program as usual today, and we're going to start, I guess, by talking a little bit about the Tornado Recovery Forum that we just recently had.
Yes, Mayor. You know, it was a very informative forum for residents that were affected by the December 26th tornado. Topics included a long-term recovery committee that has been created to help disaster victims with recovery, case management, donations and assistance, building and zoning requirements, debris removal update, and FEMA update, followed by a Q&A.
If you or someone you know were affected by the December 26th tornado and weren't able to attend the Tornado Recovery Forum, the entire forum with the Q&A is now available on the city's YouTube page, and you can access it by going to Rowlett.com.
You know, so Mayor, one of the things that we're hearing a lot from our citizens is kind of like, what are the next steps for tornado debris removal? And, you know, the city contracted with Crowder Gulf, a vendor who specializes in disaster debris removal. They began their first pass on February 15th, and we're done with that first pass by the end of January.
And that's really, truly, you know, Brian, one of the things I've noticed as I've driven through the street, I truly believe that's largely in part to the very large trucks they were using, holding about 150 cubic yards of debris for each truck. That's 10 to 12 times the capacity of our city trucks currently in use today. So please be aware that the temporary road closures may occur or may have occurred, I should say, you know, because we have a second pass coming for safety reasons. And they're, again, very large trucks. If you see them going out, they pick up a tremendous amount of debris and they move very, very quickly.
They do, and you know, the other thing too, Mayor, is that you know, some of those can't get necessarily in every alley, but so they have other equipment as well. But if you've been out there and you've noticed, you know, these trucks that have you know, like a trailer with a second vehicle attached to it, that's them.
Now,
you know, they're just huge.
Now let's stop there for just a second, because you said something just a minute ago I think is really important, and it really has to do with the final pass. And it was really, we're going to allow people to get the additional stuff that's out there on the property to the curb. And I think that's important because if there are a lot of homes as I drive up and down the streets that are either completely clear to the slab and are clean, but then you have others that have not been touched at all. And so, you know, if you have a neighbor, and many of us do, that where we're living next door to that individual, and maybe a lot hasn't been done, you need to contact them and have some conversation to try to find out what's going on and make them aware, if they're not aware, that these trucks have been out and about. Because this really is a final pass. And at the end of the day, once those trucks are gone, it's going to become the homeowners, I should say the property owner's responsibility to remove the debris from that property.
That is correct, Mayor. And so as we get through with this second pass, that's going to be it. You know, from our perspective, the city will done everything it can to have removed the debris from the streets and the right-of-ways. Debris to removed includes hazardous waste, white goods, stoves, refrigerators, electronics, and other appliances, storm debris, and vegetative debris. And
there's a lot of it out there. Now, Brian, do they have to sort that out, or they can just put that in a pile? Because I know we talked about in our brochure, about sorting some of that stuff.
Yeah, we do want them to sort it out, and there is a graphic on both our website as well as the forum flyer. And the reason for that, Todd, is that just to make sure we have enough that they clearly mark it, because the hazardous waste material and some of the other stuff has to be treated differently. And so if they don't separate it, it's got to get separated somewhere. And if it's already separated at the curb, they can move faster and make sure they're picking it up appropriately and disposing of it.
So, and I think one very important thing to point out is it's very important not to put any type of debris in your driveway or alleyways. It's critically important because, one, you cannot block the alleyways from the traffic that's down there, but two, be careful with the volunteer groups. You know that they have the best intentions, but at the end of the day they may pile it up around a gas line, and when that grapple hook comes up, the last thing you do is pull the gas line out, or over by a water meter or a fire hydrant or something of that nature. You don't want to cause any damage to those areas. But the debris must be placed by the street in the right-of-way, right next to the right-of-way, which means by the curb area.
Yes.
Do not place it in the street.
That's correct.
And if the debris extends past the sidewalk into the yard, it may not be removed. In other words, you don't want to push it back beyond the sidewalk. You really want it between the curb and the sidewalk area and piled up. So it makes it easy for the trucks to get down, for the grapple hook to be able to go up and pick the debris up and place it in the truck.
Well, and Mayor, one thing I'll say about the alley, we've had people ask, if we didn't put it out by the street, if it was out by the alley, do we have to move it? And not necessarily. As long as it's in the right of way, it'll still be picked up. The only difference that I would say is that don't put it in the alley if you have a choice. Put it out by the street. And don't block the alley. That's the main thing we're trying to say. Don't block the alley. A lot of people put this stuff out. It's easy to fall over and start spreading out into the street or the alley. Don't let that happen.
Well, and the alleyways are very narrow to start with, and these
Yes.
trucks are extremely large. So that's really why we'd ask that it be put out toward the street area, so they have the ability to navigate up and down the street and move about freely.
Right, but if they did originally put it out by the alley, and I understand there are times when that was more efficient, it's been picked up or will be picked up.
Now, a couple of will not pick up pieces. One is of concrete slab demo debris.
That's right.
Again, because of the size and the weight of the debris. So concrete slab demo debris will not be picked up. Any type of contractor debris or swimming pool debris as
That's
well.
correct.
So make sure that you note that as well, and do not put that in the pile.
And then the other thing, volunteers, we know there's still a lot of volunteers out there. Please help us consolidate smaller piles into bigger piles, as demonstrated in the graphic shown on the screen. That will help them a lot as they're out there cleaning this stuff up and get it done more efficiently.
So Brian, I guess one of the big questions that's out there as well is what's going on with FEMA, because there have been a lot of questions. People have submitted the initial survey. The FEMA basically denied the request, suggesting that under the IA, or the individual assistance portion, was not good enough. So now it's back in the hands of the governor. We're trying to collect additional data.
That's right, Mayor. And I really want to thank all of our citizens who have participated in this process. I know when we originally did the City of Rowlett's own survey to help with the original documentation, we had 1,000 people out of 1,110 that actually completed the survey. That's a pretty high statistical number.
Now, can I ask you a question? Because
Sure.
one of the things that I think a lot of people don't understand is the role that FEMA plays. In other words, there are really two key pieces to this. There's the IA, or individual assistance piece, and the PA, or the public assistance piece. Maybe explain what each of them are, and then again, even though we know that we received a denial on the IA, we did receive approval on the PA. And why is that important to the city?
Sure, Mayor. The thing about the PA, which is the public assistance, as it's called, most people now think that would mean them, the individual. But it actually means that the city and governments, county, school districts, if they were impacted, they can get assistance for damages that were incurred during the storm and they had to clean up or repair, or even replace infrastructure. The IA is the piece that we're so focused on because the PA was awarded by the president.
And that's a big deal to our city because it is a significant amount of money for the cleanup costs. We're estimating potentially $7 million plus to clean up. FEMA's going to pay a large portion of that potentially to help us with some of the cleanup costs that we've incurred.
That's correct, Mayor. Up to 75%, in some cases even more. But the truth of the matter is that the IA is the one we're so focused on because that's what's going to help individuals. And FEMA, when they step into a disaster like this, which has to be declared as a major disaster, they will assist up to $32,900. When the governor originally submitted the paperwork to apply for the major disaster, we exceeded the thresholds in every category except the IA, and we were still pretty close. So we're hoping that going through this process, maybe people who were not able to respond initially will now have time to get in there and respond, fill out the rest of the survey, find out what other types of damage was done, whether it was medical expenses to cars, whatever, and in the hopes that we can get the federal government to overturn that decision.
And there really are, a lot of people are upset. They go, well, the president denied the IA. And that is not the case at this point. My understanding is the president hasn't seen the IA at this point. It went to FEMA, and FEMA felt like we didn't meet these specific guidelines in order to qualify for that.
Well, and that's correct. The letter we did receive, or I should say the governor received, did come from FEMA. And we knew going in it did not quite meet the threshold. But I think the governor felt like, given in totality with the impact
Yes.
as a whole, it was worth the request and the hopes that we actually would receive that assistance.
And there are specific things. As you'd mentioned, we received over 1,000 surveys back in our first pass, which is really great. But the criteria that we were given basically says 801 homes had to have suffered catastrophic, which means total loss, or major structural damage within those two categories. And of the 800, they had to be made up of people that were either uninsured or underinsured.
That's correct.
So, as I said many, many times before, we're very fortunate that we're living in a community where we're affluent and we have insurance. Now, in many cases, the mortgage companies require you to have the insurance on the property. So from that perspective, it really does limit the number. It really brings that number of 1,100 homes we had impacted potentially down to a very small number. But when you combine it against the other cities across the county and across the state, we did our, the state did their best to try to gather as much information or specific claims from that particular storm to see if we would qualify.
Well, and Mayor, the other thing is just simply the cost of building materials have increased.
Absolutely.
And so even if they were fully insured, there are times that people still may have a gap because they may not have enough to cover inflationary impacts or supply and demand. So, unfortunately, we need this help for our citizens, and that's why we're participating and doing everything we can to make sure that the governor has good information to determine what he needs to do about the appeal.
Well, so that of course is news that's still in making at this point. We're still going to gather the information. We appreciate the hard work and effort by those that have completed the surveys. Now, of course, and then as we mentioned, of course, very luckily, the federal government did grant the PA assistance, which is significant because that is a cost at the end of the day that we as citizens across the entire community are going to have to bear. And so any money that we receive from FEMA helps to defray those costs. And, again, I mean, this is the hard reality of things that we talk about, but that could be in the form of potentially some additional budget cuts. It could be in the form of reduced services for a period of time, or it could be in the form of a special assessment that may have to be done, depending on the amount of money we're talking about and how important are those other services to provide. And that's something we're going to be having some conversation with over the next couple of months of how do we pay for all this?
Yep.
But because at the end of the day, even with our reserves, you don't build enough reserve to cover this type of a catastrophic event.
Exactly, Mayor. And we're going to have that conversation with Council in March, and at that point we'll develop our strategy and we'll move forward. But just that individual assistance is just so important. So we're continuing to try to see if we can get that done.
One piece of trash. It's okay, you think. One piece of trash couldn't hurt anything. But one piece of trash has a tendency to multiply. And multiply. And multiply. Still think that piece of trash is harmless? Trash only attracts more trash. Do your part to keep the environment safe, clean, and beautiful. Don't litter.
Howdy, this is Chris Paul for the Rowlett Community Emergency Response Team. As we approach spring in Rowlett, a very real threat to life and property are severe storms. The tornado event in Rowlett has made that all too real for all of us. Knowing what to do during an emergency is an important part of being prepared and may make all the difference when seconds count. Some of the things that you can do to prepare for the unexpected, such as making an emergency supply kit and developing an emergency plan, are the same for both a natural or a man-made emergency. A great source of information for making emergency supply kits are available at www.ready.gov. Why worry about thunderstorms? Well, the threats from a severe thunderstorm include lightning, straight-line winds, flash floods, hail, and of course, tornadoes. Lightning causes an average of 55 to 60 fatalities and 400 injuries each year. Lightning occurs with all thunderstorms, and lightning costs more than $1 billion in insured losses each year. Straight-line winds can often exceed 125 miles per hour. They can cause destruction equal to a tornado, and they're extremely dangerous to aviation. And of course, flash floods and flooding are the #1 cause of deaths associated with thunderstorms, with more than 90 fatalities on average each year. Remember, turn around, don't drown. 6 inches of moving water can make your car uncontrollable or sweep you off your feet. And hail can be larger than a softball, which is 5 inches in diameter. and hail causes more than $1 billion in crop and property damage each year. And lastly, tornadoes. Tornadoes cause an average of 60 to 65 fatalities and 1,500 injuries each year. They can produce wind speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour and can be over 1 mile wide and stay on the ground for over 50 miles. Fortunately, modern technology and the many modes of communication we have available make advance notice through watches and warnings commonplace. What's the difference between watches and warnings, you ask? A severe thunderstorm watch means that the potential exists for the development of thunderstorms which may produce large hail or damaging winds. When a watch is issued, you should go about your normal activities, but keep an eye to the sky and an ear to the National Weather Service's weather radio or local radio and TV stations for further updates and possible warnings. A severe thunderstorm warning, on the other hand, means that a severe thunderstorm is occurring or is imminent based on Doppler radar information. You should move indoors to a place of safety. Schools should think about delaying departure of buses and should take quick action to delay outdoor sports activities, etc. A tornado watch, like a severe thunderstorm watch, means that conditions are favorable for severe thunderstorms to form, but it also means that a few storms may be capable of producing a tornado. A tornado warning is the ultimate in severe warnings. It means that a tornado is either occurring or imminent based on radar or real-time trained weather spotter information. You should take cover immediately. By being an educated and safe observer, you can do your part in serving your community in severe weather. But remember, your safety should be the first priority. Don't be one of those people that hear warning sirens and run outside with their camera or stand at the nearest window. One of the most relied upon resources for the National Weather Service are trained amateur radio licensees, known as hams, that act as storm spotters. If you're a licensed operator, you can attend free training by the National Weather Service at locations throughout North Texas. You can also find that training and get certified online. If you're not a ham, but are interested in getting licensed, you can contact me, the emergency coordinator for the Rowlett Amateur Radio Emergency Service, at wi5y@arrl.net. In fact, the Rowlett Aries is sponsoring a technician license class on March 12th and 13th right here in Rowlett. Again, contact me at wi5y@arrl.net for more details. You don't have to be a ham officially assigned to a spotting group to report severe weather to the National Weather Service. In severe weather, the National Weather Service Fort Worth, the office responsible for our area, actively monitors their Facebook page, Twitter account, which is at NWS Fort Worth, and by phone at 800-792-2257. As you can imagine, they are deluged with observations during severe weather, so it's important to recognize the minimum conditions for which you should report. For more information on the mechanics of severe storms, Google Severe Storms 101 for the National Weather Service site and click on Thunderstorm Basics. Remember, severe weather reporting is not storm chasing. Very few people have the education and equipment to safely chase storms, and even trained personnel are often seriously injured or killed in this activity. Lastly, no home in Rowlett should be without a dedicated NOAA weather radio. These radios can be programmed to sit quietly until they alert you to important broadcasts from the National Weather Service or the Emergency Alert System. Quality weather radios are available for approximately $50, and they've saved countless lives. In addition, there are also receivers available that will allow you to monitor the licensed hams involved in storm spotting. Until next month, this is Chris Paul of the Rowlett Community Emergency Response Team and the Rowlett Amateur Radio Emergency Service. Get educated, make preparations for you and your loved ones, and please stay safe.
Well, Brian, let's talk about something on a little bit more of a positive, something we were talking about before this tornado hit our city, and that was really about Kids Kingdom. That was really something that's been a bright spot for a long time. We had been 100% committed to rebuilding this. We had a lot of volunteers and just a huge effort, fundraising effort that took place to be able to go out and help raise money for Kids Kingdom along with the bond program. And we've made some significant progress on that front. And as you recall, in December 2015, we began the process of building the playground. And it seems like a long way away in some cases, but it's not. With hundreds of volunteers and, of course, our amazing city staff. But now, finally, that the weather's cooperating, and boy, it was cold out there, and then we got some rain, and it just prolonged this process. But we'll be finishing the playground completely in the next couple of weeks, which is really exciting.
That's right, Mayor. And the final build day for Kids Kingdom was completed on Saturday, February 20th. And a small group of city staff from Rowlett Public Works and Parks and Recreation put the finishing touches on Kids Kingdom. We had a team of about 30 skilled volunteers that worked tirelessly the entire day, getting the playground ready for the next steps. And the next steps, including doing the survey for the final grading, because once we got out there and moved things around, you know, you want to make sure one last time that you've got the grade that you want prior to placing the poured-in-place rubber flooring.
Well, and that's a lot different than just dropping some mulch and raking it over.
Exactly.
I mean, you really have to have the grading to be able to do that if you want a smooth, contiguous surface.
That's right, and you also want to make sure it drains properly and stuff. So the Playground Committee will be planning the grand opening this spring, and so stay tuned for the date to be announced. This is going to be very, very exciting.
And what an amazing playground it is. And of course, we're very excited about it becoming a destination in the Metroplex. I truly believe it will. You know, this playground is close to $1 million on the build. When we look at the number of volunteer hours that are not included, you're well over $1 million at this point. And it's going to be something that people come from all over to see and, of course, use. Now, we also have pickets available still. I don't know if you're aware of that or
Yes,
not, but we still have pickets for sale if you're interested in and becoming part of the playground itself. You have the ability to purchase a picket by going to Rowlett.com. And I bought one of the pickets with us today, and as you see here, you know, you can actually get an engraved picket.
Yep.
Your name here.
Yes.
I love my favorite mayor. I think that fits within the. That is what you bought,
Mayor
right?
and Robin. Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I'll be very disappointed if I go out there and it's not there. If you know what I'm saying, all right? Okay. but seriously, each picket is up to 21 characters and costs $50. And you can have your name basically immortalized on the playground.
That's right.
To be, you know, one, it just shows your participation, but two, it's something for grandparents. If you want to get your grandchildren's name in there, you can certainly do that. And it's just a great way to say that we appreciate the playground and we support it as well.
Well, and not only that, Mayor, but there is one last piece of equipment that we're fundraising for, and so the picket cost of the pickets can help support that effort at the time that we can build that. So one last little thing, and otherwise it's been a very good fundraising tool for us.
Well, and if you're interested in buying one of these pickets, you can simply go online at Rowlett.com. It has the information, the sign-up information on there, and you can get your orders and you can get your order in today. So, and of course, if you have any questions on Kids Kingdom in general, you can email us at kidskingdom@rowlett.com. So let's talk about the utility billing here for just a moment. You know, I understand that we've gone through some hiccups with the way that the billing is done, especially on the external app is what I'm referring to. And I understand that we have a brand new external app that's going to allow us to make payment easier.
That's right, Mayor. And as you know, Mint Bills has gone away. And so as a result, we have switched to Paymentus, and which is a new way to pay your Rowlett utility bill. You know, we've listened to our customers, and we understand their desire for recurring credit card payments. That was the one thing that was a real rub for folks, that they wanted a set it up and forget about it option. And so as a result, we have great news. Paymentus will provide customers with the option to sign up for recurring credit card payments as well as make one-time utility payments. Another added feature, Mayor, Paymentus will also offer payments via smartphone. You can create your Paymentus profile at www.rowlett.com/utility payments or by visiting their website shown on the screen. And in addition to those payment options, the City of Rowlett will continue offering numerous options for utility bill payments, including recurring ACH, integrated voice response is the telephone number IVR 1-844-238-8997. The Citizen Self Portal is also online still, www.rowlett.com. We have a drop box located in front of the former Minyards location and the utility billing offices, 2 of them. Walmart customer service desk, or you can come see us in person at 4004 Main Street. We hope you enjoy the added conveniences our new partnership with Paymentus will bring.
Well, and I want to say thank you because you really listened to the citizens on this point. When we came back and we had issues with the Mint bills and trying to get them set up and just all the issues, and to those that did sign up, we appreciate your patience going through this process, and we promise you this one is going to be a lot better for us and of course a lot easier to use. So Brian, how often do you text? We text on a regular basis.
No, every day.
Every day, and of course I text you, and because you don't answer your phone. And no, I'm teasing, but seriously,
Yep.
but it really has become one of the primary ways that people communicate today, especially younger people and members of, or those that are hearing impaired and speech impaired. You think about the ability to be able to text. It's in a busy, crowded area. You can't hear. A lot of times it's just easier to text someone because I can get off a quick sentence versus trying to hear. I have a very hard time lately on my phone, so I do a lot of texting. And so, but we've really extended this to one additional level, and that's to the 911 community. It's constantly striving to meet the evolving needs of the public, and right now that means implementing text to 911 solutions.
Well, and Mayor, there are very significant benefits to consumers, especially in cases where the caller cannot communicate verbally, as you indicated. For example, text to 911 is very useful to the approximately 34 million Americans who are hard of hearing, deaf, or speech impaired.
And Brian, there are many cases, seriously, all kidding aside, when I'm on my phone and I'm in a crowded room, I can't hear anything on this phone, and I'm trying desperately that. So to be able to text becomes a very natural, very easy way for me to communicate.
Text to 911 is also helpful in situations when a crime is in process. The caller is facing domestic abuse, the caller is injured and cannot speak, and other scenarios. So still, the best way to contact 911 will continue to be via voice communications whenever possible, but when you can't, text.
That's exactly right. And it works really well. So how do we do that?
Well,
I go to my text option.
that's right. You go there, and then you type under the phone, type in 911.
Okay. All right, 911.
And then, yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. And then just my text.
Yep, and then put in your text.
Excellent. And then put my text. And that's it.
That's it.
That's all. Great.
Yep.
We'll try it out.
And,
We'll see how fast I get here. How about that? No, I'm teasing. We're not going to do that. Brian, we also have a lot of upcoming events and dates coming up, and we'll start with the P&Z and council meetings. We have our first regular council meeting on March 1st and 15th, and we've got P&Z meetings on March 8th and 22nd. And of course, all council and P&Z meetings are broadcast live on City Cable, channel RTN 16, or you can watch them anytime on our streaming video page at Rowlett.com.
That's right, Mayor. And then also we're going to have a special work session on March 22nd to talk about the impact of the tornado from a budget and fiscal perspective.
That'll be great. And of course, we have one of my favorite events coming up.
They're all your favorite events.
Well, they are my favorite events, yes. This is the Easter Egg Extravaganza on Saturday, March 19th from 10 to 12 at Pecan Grove Park.
That's
it is
right.
so cool. I love, especially down in the park, you have these huge pecan trees, and it's covered with all these thousands and thousands of Easter eggs. I want to say like over 20,000 eggs that we have dispersed throughout the park. And you have the ability to grab your Easter basket and hop on over.
Yep, I get it. I get it.
Okay,
yeah,
hop on over. Okay,
Yeah.
forget it. Next month I'll be doing the show by myself.
Yeah.
But hop on over to Pecan Grove Park.
With your bunny ears. Bring your bunny ears. Yeah.
To Pecan Grove Park and hunt for over 20,000 Easter-filled eggs. And of course, this event is free and you can enjoy face painting, bounce houses, photo with the Easter bunny, and of course more.
Would
There's a lot
you
going on.
get your face painted if you went?
I would do the photo with the Easter bunny.
Oh, okay. Well, that might be kind of fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah. It doesn't.
And you know, Mayor, our egg hunts are categorized by age groups. They're scheduled at various times throughout the event. And then here's the thing that I am enjoying. This is what's going to be the most fun thing. The very next day is the Easter Pup-alooza. Pup-a-palooza, Sunday, March 20th, from 2 to 4 p.m.
Are you calling me?
At Hereford. I did.
I heard Pup-a-palooza.
Yes. Are you going to be there?
I love the Puppapalooza.
Well, I would hope you do, and
Just
I would
like
hope
I
you
love
would be
you,
there.
Brian.
Oh,
I
thank you
missed
so
you.
much.
I was waiting for you to call me. I haven't heard from you since last month. What's going on? Is there somebody else?
Well,
Hello? I'm talking to you.
okay. So the Puppapalooza, we
Look
want
at
you
me.
to join.
Look at me. I'm talking.
I am trying to do a show. Join the Rowlett
Are you
Parks and
too timing
Recreation
me?
Department.
Is there another cat or dog? Go ahead. Come on. You can tell me.
Yes, his name is Gabe, and he's an 80-pound golden retriever. Join the Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department at the Eastern Puppapalooza.
I'm so mad right now. My feelings are hurt.
Would
Are you gonna bring me the Puppapalooza?
Can you read the sign? Can you read?
Yes, I can.
You can read. How
You
about
don't
that?
want to miss the fun and games or the prizes. Remember to bring your Easter basket, your leash, and your proof of rabies vaccination. You better be glad I have my rabies vaccination.
Well, and you won't want to miss the fun games or the prizes. So again, Easter
Don't forget about
basket,
the doggy
leash,
treats.
proof of rabies vaccination, and the cost is $10 per sock.
And the eggs are filled with treats.
There you
treats.
go. Yeah,
I love dog treats, Brian.
I'm sure you do.
I still love you, though.
Okay, I love you
Got a
too.
kiss. Got a kiss. Mwah. He's the greatest. I don't care what anybody says. So, will you hang around a little bit? Okay, you got to be quiet. All right. So, let's talk about the general election.
Yeah, let's talk about the general election coming up May 7th, Mayor, 2016.
May 7th. I won't even go there. But there are 4 positions that will be held on the ballot, including Rudy. That's right. You can always write Rudy in. But there are 4 positions on the ballot for May 7th general election. Mayor, council member 2. I bet you wish it wasn't mayor. I wish he's going to be voting for somebody else. Council member place 2, council member place 4, and of course, council member place 6. There's also a special election to fill a vacancy for council member place 3. And of course, as usual, photo ID is now required to vote in Texas, which is important. And of course, we have early voting coming up too.
Yeah, and early voting will take place from April 25th through May 3rd. Times and locations will be available on Rowlett.com. May 7th, Election Day voting sites in Rowlett for Dallas County and Rockwall County registered voters are determined by the voter's precinct number. So on Election Day, registered voters must vote at their precinct location. Those times and locations will be available on Rowlett.com.
Am I allowed to vote?
You're not 18. Your precinct
You're also
number.
a pet. You're not allowed to vote.
Oh.
Okay.
Your precinct number is found on your voter registration card next to the year of your birth. And that's where you can find your precinct number.
And all kidding aside, I mean, the early voting could not be any easier. It is probably
so
the best way
easy.
to go. You have the ability to be able to simply walk in and walk out. I do that. I like literally walk in within like 2 minutes. I'm back out again. And there are many times I've often shared this story when in Pennsylvania we would have election day. It was one day. And you could literally stand in line for an hour or so waiting to vote, and the line was wrapped outside the door. So early voting is such a really cool thing, and really exercise your right and take advantage of it, because it's a really great way to show your support for the candidates and, again, to exercise your right. Because I tell people before, if you don't vote, you really can't complain, because you have the ability to be able to go in and change. And don't think that your vote doesn't count. We recently had a council election, if you remember, several years ago, that was won by one vote.
One vote.
One single vote. So your vote does count. So for more information, you can contact the city secretary's office at 972-412-6115.
That's correct, Mayor. And you know, in closing, we want to thank everybody for watching. The
You are
March
so
16th
glad, aren't you?
edition.
Are you glad it's over? The pain is finally over. It's so great. Go ahead.
Thanks for watching the March 16 edition, Rowlett on the Water on the Move. As always, please email us or call us with suggestions. We have the information on the screen. Don't forget to like us on Facebook for the latest up-to-date information. Lots of great information
And there's
out there.
City of Rowlett, which is the
Yep.
Texas government site.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have my Herschel Facebook page, Todd Gottel, Mayor of Rowlett. You can also like that as well. And again, we post a lot of updates and information on there. You can stay tuned for the latest and greatest. And really, our city site is really great, because you guys do a great job of doing the updates. And special thanks to Denise Parent for the hard work there. So please remember to check out our Facebook page. It's great to share and tell your friends about. And of course, yes, it's over. So until finally then, we'll see you next time on Rowlett on the Water on the Move.
Grab your Easter basket and hippity hop over to Pecan Grove Park on Saturday, March 19th from 10 a.m. to noon to hunt for over 20,000 treat-filled Easter eggs. At this free event, you'll enjoy face painting, bounce houses, photo with the Easter Bunny, and much more. Egg hunts are categorized by age groups and are scheduled at various times throughout the event. In the case of inclement weather, the event will be held on Saturday, March 26th.
The inaugural season of the Rowlett Youth Baseball League officially kicks off Saturday, March 12th at Community Park. Opening day will be action-packed with fun activities for everyone to enjoy, including an inflatable bounce house, an inflatable speed pitch machine, and a wiffle ball home run derby. Opening day will also feature a special guest from the 1998 Yankees World Series championship team. Come out and show your support for local kids as they have fun and make memories that will last a lifetime. We hope to see you there.
Burn 500 to 800 calories in just 1 hour. Spin class improves endurance, increases strength, builds muscle tone, and reshapes your body. Get noticeable results from this choreographed cardiovascular cycling workout. This class is free to Rowlett Community Center members, and members can reserve a bike for just $25 a month. Spin class meets every Monday and Wednesday from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Are you ready to step up your game in life? Then step into Honor Academy. Honor Academy will help you unlock the keys to success. Students will learn the basics of ethics, leadership, and responsibility that will equip them to take ownership of every endeavor, from academic goals to athletic dreams to personal challenges. Honor Academy will begin on March 22nd and end on April 19th. Classes will take place on Tuesday nights from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. for just $50.
Break out the sunglasses and start stocking up on tanning lotion because summer's just around the corner. And you know what that means. The Wet Zone Water Park is open for business. To enjoy the water park all summer long for one low price, be sure to purchase a season pass starting April 1st. The Wet Zone will be open on weekends starting May 14th, and starting June 3rd, it'll be open daily. Check out thewetzonewaterpark.com for more details.
Ready, set, dodgeball. That's right, dodgeball is coming to the Rowlett Community Center. Dodgeball is a team sport with 6 players competing to knock the opposing 6 out of the game. Catching one's ball or hitting one with the thrown ball will eliminate opponents and take you to ultimate dodgeball glory. You can either sign up as a team or as a free agent. Games will be played the 3rd Wednesday of each month at 4 p.m. Dodgeball is for ages 13 to 18 and will cost $5 per person. Taekwondo is back with 6th-degree black belt Bobby Blakey, who has 30-plus years of training experience with numerous black belts under him and sits on the board of the Texas Martial Arts Federation. Discipline, power, focus, and conditioning are just some of the things you will learn in this year-round program. Attend a class for 1 or 2 nights a week. $30 a month for once a week, and $5 for each additional family member, or $50 a month for 2 nights a week, with $10 for each additional family member. The next session starts on March 1st and ends on March 31st. Classes will be held on Tuesdays and Thursday nights from 6:30 to 9 p.m.
Join the Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department at the Easter Puppapalooza on Saturday, March 20th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., where dogs of all sizes are invited to hunt for eggs filled with doggy treats and special prize eggs. You won't want to miss the fun and games. Remember to bring your Easter basket, leash, and proof of rabies vaccination. The cost is $10 per dog.
For 12 years, Hall of Fame instructor and 10th degree black belt Dwayne Ethington has taught this dynamic jiu-jitsu system at the Rowlett Community Center. It is a blend of everything that Mr. Ethington has learned over a 47-year career. Extreme self-defense for everyone. Don't be anyone's victim. Learn the best system in the land from some of the best instructors. $30 a month for once a week, $50 a month for twice a week, and $60 a month for 3 times a week. The first session starts on March 3rd and ends on March 31st, with classes being held on Monday and Thursday nights from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 to 12. Little Kickers Soccer is a 4-week instructional program for kids who are interested in playing the awesome sport of soccer and having fun. Participants will learn basic soccer skills such as passing, defending, dribbling, and scoring. A practice game will also be held the last week of the program. Little Kickers will begin on March 17th and end on April 7th. Classes will be on Thursday nights from 6 to 6:45 p.m. and the cost for this class is $35.
City of Rowlett parks have pavilions available for rent any day of the week. Reservations are available during park hours from dawn to dusk. They also may be made up to 9 months in advance. Pavilions can be reserved for the entire day, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., or for half-day time blocks, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. Alcohol is prohibited in city parks and pavilions.
Looking for a fun program for your preteens during spring break? They will stay active, have fun, and get a dose of education all at once. That's right, the SOAR Spring Break Out program is quickly approaching. Ages 11 to 14 are encouraged to come participate from March 7th through 11th for a variety of activities which include games, themed activities, contests, and sports from volleyball to golf, tie-dye shirts, arts and crafts, and more. Fees are just $15 per day, and participants will need to bring their own lunch and snacks.
Are you looking for a fun place that is easy on the parents to hold your child's next birthday party? Check out the Rowlett Community Center themed birthday parties. Pricing begins at $150 for up to 10 children and includes a party host, 1 hour of fun activities for their participants, 1 hour in a birthday party room, themed decorations, paper goods, a cake, and punch. The best part of the whole program is we do the cleanup after the event. To make a reservation or for more information, please call the Community Center at 972-412-6170.
School may be out for spring break, but there is something happening every day at the library. Come in March 7th through 12th for a different spring break adventure every day. These programs are designed for kids ages 6 to 12. On Monday, March 7th, swing by anytime and help us color a life-size coloring sheet of Mark Twain. Tuesday, March 8th, we will have an all-day scavenger hunt around the library. Earn prizes and learn about the library. On Wednesday, March 9th, kids will be encouraged to create at the library. Children can create LED throwies, play with robots, and more. This program takes place at 4 p.m. On Thursday, March 10th, we will have Tech Adventures for easy and fun hands-on tech toys for ages 6 to 12. This program is at 4 p.m. On Friday, March 11th, get your game face on and join us for classic board games from 2 to 4 p.m. And let's take a break on Saturday, March 12th at 2 p.m. with an awesome Easter craft. We will be making yarn Easter eggs. All spring break programs will take place at the library's new location at 5702 Rowlett Road. Come to the Rowlett Community Center Saturday, March 5th at 2 p.m. to watch Divergent. This movie adaptation has all the thrills of the book series. In a world divided by factions based on virtues, Triss learns she's Divergent and won't fit in. When she discovers a plot to destroy Divergent, Triss and the Mysterious Four must find out what makes Divergence dangerous before it's too late. This film is rated PG-13 and is 139 minutes. Free popcorn is included. On Saturday, March 19th at 2 p.m., we will explore if the Mafia was involved in the death of JFK. Jim Gatewood is a local author, Dallas historian, history professor at Collin County Community College, and founder of the Dallas County Assassination Review Board. Join us as Mr. Gatewood delivers an account of what has been reported to the review board about JFK's assassination. That's on March 19th at 2 p.m. at the Rowlett Recreation Center. Don't forget, the library offers a story time for every little one at 5702 Rowlett Road. On Tuesdays, the Young and the Restless story time for babies is held at 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Also on Tuesdays, kids can wear their pajamas, grab their teddy bears, and head to the library for pajama story time at 7 p.m. On Wednesdays, toddlers can enjoy Giggle Wiggle story time at 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. And Thursdays are for preschoolers with Shake, Rattle, and Read story times at 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Each month, the library presents Love on a Leash, where doggy reading companions listen to a story read by an independent young reader. Sign up at the services desk today. For grade school children, Rowlett Public Library has a primetime book club on Thursdays at 4 p.m., which introduces young readers to a new series and encourages new genres. For teens every Wednesday, the library hosts Whatever on Wednesdays, or WOW, at 4 p.m. for ages 13 to 18. Spend spring break with us at our new location at 5702 Rowlett Road.
One of the great things about technology is the way it lets us streamline and simplify certain aspects of our lives. One excellent tool that helps people do this is IFT, short for If This Then That. IFT allows you to connect two different apps or services together by creating a recipe. Recipes are structured so that if one thing happens, then another thing happens. For example, you could set it so every time you make a Facebook post, the if statement, also known as the trigger, it also gets posted on your Twitter account, the then statement, also known as the action. You could also set it up the other way around. Now that's pretty straightforward. Let's say you also want to keep your profile pictures the same on both accounts. You can create a recipe that if you change your profile picture on one, it's automatically updated on the other. Maybe you don't want all of your tweets on your Facebook page, only certain ones. You can create a different recipe in which only tweets with a certain hashtag get posted to your Facebook page. So there are a lot of things you can do here, and that's just with Facebook and Twitter. According to the IFT homepage, there are 276 different services you can connect together. These services you can connect are called channels. Each app, website, or service that has a channel on IFT has a set of pre-programmed operations for either the trigger or the action piece of the recipe. Part of the fun is exploring the different channels and seeing how you can match them up. However, you don't have to make them up all on your own. IFT provides many suggested recipes based off different categories, including productivity, fitness, shopping, and home. Furthermore, clicking the link for each channel provides suggested recipes for use with that channel. Lots of people use IFT and are always coming up with new recipes, then sharing them with the community. But there are quite a bit more. For a full list of available channels and many suggested recipes, check out the IFT website. Even better, create an account, it's free, and play around with it. If you have any questions about this or other tech video topics, please come see us at the Rowlett Public Library. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Brian Beckner, Fire Marshal for the City of Rowlett. I'd like to take a few minutes of your time to talk about electrical safety. Flipping a light switch, plugging in a coffee maker, charging a laptop computer, they're all second nature to most of us. Electricity makes our lives easier. However, we need to be cautious and keep safety in mind. Have all electrical work done by a qualified electrician. When you are buying or remodeling your home, have it inspected by a qualified electrician. Use only one heat-producing appliance, such as a coffee maker, toaster, or space heater, into a receptacle outlet at a time. Major appliances like refrigerators, dryers, washers, stoves, air conditioning units should be plugged directly into the wall receptacle outlet. Extension cords and plug strip should not be used. Check all electrical cords to make sure that they are not running across doorways or under carpet. Extension cords are intended for temporary use only. Have a qualified electrician add more receptacle outlets so you don't have to use extension cords. Use light bulbs that match recommended wattage on the lamp or fixture. There should be a sticker that indicates the maximum wattage to be used. If you have any additional questions, please either call me at 972-463-3940 or send me an email at bbeckner@rowlett.com. Again, I'm Brian Beckner, your Fire Marshal. Thank you for your time.